We've come out for dinner, a party of 10, we would say, and it appears that there's more snow happening here in Zihuatanejo, Ixtapa, Mexico, than there is in Montreal or Toronto areas. So these are my hosts, and these are their friends, some of their friends, and we all came out for dinner tonight, and there's beautiful music. They sang a couple of songs in English first that I sang along with, and then they did Bésame Mucho.
Eres un encanto, eres una flor.
Es para ello.
Dios dice que la gloria está en el cielo.
This is just a typical nice restaurant. You know, outside, beautiful. The weather here could not be better. Could not be better. And look, this guy has a sore throat. He's sick with a sore throat, and so we've wrapped him up. So here I am back downtown, Zihuatanejo, and it was funny because I went for such a long walk the other day. Google took me on a wild goose chase, and then today I'm here at Coppell downtown to meet this guy who's going to show me a condo that he has because a girlfriend of mine is coming down to visit with me for a month. We're gonna do the sun, the sand, the surf, the Spanish thing together, which is fantastic. We met in elementary school, as you can imagine. She was from another village, and her family moved to our village. And I'm talking village. When I say village, I mean village. Both of them were very tiny villages. The one they moved to, mine, might have been a little smaller, I'm not sure. Anyway, so she came when we were in grade 8, and we were friends, for years, and all these years. We didn't see each other. There have been many times over our lives. She went west, way west. And anyway, I just got a message here. Yeah, okay, I'm going to have to respond to him in a second. But anyway, I wanted to say that I left the house today at the same time as my hostess left the house, and I don't know where she's going. She's, busy. She owns a property that she rents out, a vacation property she rents out. And so anyway, I happened to go out the door just after she had gone out the door and gotten into her vehicle. And so then I'm walking to catch La Combi, we call it, to catch a bus. I'm going to have to put it closer to my mouth, I think, because there's so much traffic here. And anyway, so then she's driving by, and she said, "Señorita, ¿dónde vas?" Excuse me. So then I told her that I'm meeting this, real estate agent, probably is what he is, to see a property, and we're meeting at Coppell is the name of a store. And she said, "I'm going to La Farmacia right beside Coppell, because then I have to go to una ferreteria to buy some paint and blah, blah, blah for her husband's business and, blah, blah, blah." Anyway, so here I am, 15 minutes early. We kept the 17 pesos in my pocket. We had a great conversation because I told them about the wild goose chase Google Maps took me on the other day, walking 30 minutes with a heavy load in my backpack. And anyway, as we turned onto the street, I went, "Oh, look at this. I came all the way out here looking for that restaurant." She said, "Oh, Lynn, you and your experiences." Yes, absolutely. And I said, I came along here in the Combi, La Combi, in the little bus, and I didn't, see all these things, but when I walked it on foot, I saw all these things. And she said, "Yeah, that's true. We see more when we're walking." So anyway, that's my experience for this morning only. And my agent, has responded to my text while I've been videoing, so I need to go check that out. And we'll see more. I'll probably put up a video of what a typical condominium for rent for a month will look like for people. what I wanted. I wanted to catch how he walks around and then just flattens right out. Just like Ebony does. But Ebony makes a little more of a presence of it because she's so much bigger. So what a lovely day I've had. My hosts left early this morning, so after a night of rain, oh yeah, I just remembered, heavy rain. 3 different times it came down very heavily, waking me up each time, of course, and about an hour in between each bout. It never rains here in December, but anyway, that's what's happening in the world these days. Climate change, ha ha ha. What did they call it before? They called it something before that, was bullshit, and everybody was able to say that's bullshit. But then they said climate change. Well, of course, climate changes all the time. Anyway, I'll get off that one. But they left today to go see their older daughter. They have 2 daughters and a son, who's the youngest, to visit her and their grandchildren and her family. And so at any rate, the last time I got up was with them when they were leaving just before 7, so 6:53 I saw when I was going back to bed. And so then slept in. I've been a little lazier than usual, but hey, it's a weekend. It's not a coaching day. And a girlfriend of mine from elementary school, if you can imagine, is coming down to spend a month of, whatever. We picked a month way back, and she may be staying on for a few months. But we're going to be a month here in the hot sun and sand and waves and all that stuff. And then I am going to go inland to my birth city, my Mexican birth city. It's where my Spanish really was born, and it's pretty darn good right now. I'm extremely pleased with it. My struggle is understanding new voices a little bit, and then even the voices I know, because now they're speaking faster with me, and they're throwing in different language, different, vocabulary, and especially the other night when we went out. They're inviting me to everywhere they go, which is so sweet to include me. And I keep saying thank you so much for the invitation, to join you guys. And they say, no, thank you for being here with us. I keep hearing of the inspiration that my hostess is receiving from me. And that touches my heart, because that's what this channel is all about. That's why my friend Diane said to me back in July, to start this channel, because not that she wanted to do in her life what I'm doing in my life, but it was so inspiring to her. So that's why I'm here, and I didn't come here to Ixtapa to stay with this couple whom I met 2 years ago and have seen since as well at their granddaughter's Fiesta de Quince Años. And stay in touch over Facebook and whatnot. So at any rate, I did not come here to inspire them at all. I came here to improve my Spanish, and now Rodrigo, the host, is saying, no, you came here to perfect your Spanish. It already was good. So, and I say to everybody, I've learned something about Rodrigo. Only believe 50% of what he says, because he's a jokester. Anyway, so because I am putting calls out in a Facebook group, put one call out in a Facebook group for this area, where I could rent a place with 2 bedrooms, air conditioning in both bedrooms, with a pool, with kick-ass internet. That's a given these days, but I need to specify it. I need to call for it, or else God doesn't know to give it to me. And close to a swimming pool. Did I say that? A pool? And close to the beach. Close enough. I don't mind to walk. I love to walk. Today I've been walking for hours. I think I left my house at 12:20 maybe. I'm not sure what time it is. I'll have to figure that out. But at any rate, I walked to the house from my house, and it's not that far. So it's still in the same neighborhood, which is cool. And then from there, walking to the beach, it's the same beach, come on, it goes on for miles. So it's a different entrance to the beach, and in fact, it's the very first time I went to the beach here this time, so it was not the night I arrived. I don't think. maybe it was the night I arrived. I'll have to check the date. And so anyway, if it wasn't the night I arrived, because I arrived in the afternoon, then it would have been the next evening, and I went down and watched the sunset and had some nice conversation in Spanish with the guy trying to pick me up. You know, I kind of said to him, look, you can't dance, so what would be the point? Yes, I'm tough, you know. So anyway, yeah, so that's the beach, that's the entrance we would take, and Google says it's 14 minutes, so may have taken me 10 or 12 to get there, may have taken me 20, I don't know, but it's direct, easy to get to, all that stuff. I'm sure it was 10 minutes. And then from there, you know, I just got on the beach. Oh yeah, it was funny because I took my sandals off. They're not flip-flops, but hang on, I'll just show you. Kind of like flip-flops, you know. So I just took them off, and just as I took them off, you know, I had put my phone away first and hadn't really closed the zipper on my backpack. So this is my purse, and it's a backpack, and so I hadn't closed the zipper on my backpack from putting my phone into it, and I stepped out of my shoes, and then I see the wave is coming in, that it's probably not going to get this far, but it might. Oh, it's getting closer and closer, and I had to be careful not to bend over with my open backpack because then everything would go, and I quickly scooped up my shoes just this far from the water touching them, because they're leather, they're not flip-flops. So I scooped them up and put them in the air and went, woohoo! And people were smiling at me because they saw it, and they're going, I think she's going to get some wet sandals. But I kept them dry. So anyway, then I walked on along, and I could see where my beach is, you know, way over there. So probably a 10-minute walk to the beach. Walking on sand is a little slower than walking on pavement, bitumen. At any rate, at some point along the way, I just went, yeah, maybe I'll go in and have a beer at one of these hotels along the way. I'll just go in and see if they have a bar that they'll let me, a non-payer of the hotel, have a beer at the restaurant. And I'm walking through, and I'm not seeing a restaurant bar there at all on the beach side, where I do a little bit farther down the way. Anyway, so then I came out the other side, and I just through the lobby, and the amazing thing is nobody stopped me. Hey, you don't have a bracelet on, or whatever. Like they will in some places. So anyway, then I came right out onto the street, and I went across to find out where the taqueria is. That's how you say it. You don't say it taqueria, you say it taqueria. I heard that 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago when I was down here, I was asking over that way if there is a taqueria. And a girl said, you know, what are you looking for? And I said, una taqueria con tacos al pastor. Oh, una taqueria. Okay, you're right. That was funny. So anyway, now I know where it is. There's one. And then as I'm walking along, not too far from there, there was some delicious looking ice cream being scooped for some young women. So I decided I would do a taste test. You know, that it's not a pink spoon, it's a little wooden spoon. But so I did a taste test of 2, and the second one I went, yep, that's the one. So it was delicious, and they called it Besos Costeños. So it's Coastal Kisses is what it's called. So that was a nice name for it too. Lots of kisses of different flavors in it, and coconut and pineapple and some of my favorite ones, and nuts, and yeah. Anyway, so then I walk along, asking a little more, where can I buy fruit? And the guy tells me, oh, down, you know, way the other side. Okay, that's fine, just want to know where. And then I come along, and I just, you know, this motorcycle parking caught my attention, and I went, hey, that's a nice looking place. So this is the place I'm in. So as I was kind of walking by right out there, I just kind of looked in and went, yeah, that would be a nice place to go sit and have a beer, a cold beer. And the beer is very cold, and it's delicious. And so it's a pizzeria, and it's called Emilio's. There are 2 Emilio's here I've seen as I walk by. There's another one over there in that tall white building. It looks a little bit like a church belfry. Boy, that name came out of the past. And it's Emilio's too. So at any rate, this is Emilio's, and and I had to, dress it up because it's perspiring so much, and the guy didn't put anything on it. So this is my Victoria. It's my favorite beer down here, and they call this a dark beer. Well, slightly different definitions for lots of things, because I'm not really a dark beer drinker. But I have lime all around it, of course. Yeah, so anyway, that's what I'm up to today. So this place that I walked to, the building, they have a 2-bedroom condo, air conditioning in both bedrooms, and I think he said in the living area too, but I don't care about that. Of course, we're going to pay for the electricity and the gas for cooking. No worries about using too much gas, that's for sure. And the electricity, of course, it's vale la pena, dale el precio to pay for air conditioning at night. And looking forward to that. Yeah, and there's a pool. So I didn't get to see in because I was just walking to find the place, and I found it, and there's no notice of the name of the condo complex. So I sent him a picture. And don't you like that panorama? So I could send him the whole thing. And he said, yes, that's it, exactly. And in fact, we have 2 in there. Okay, great, because love the location. He said to me it's older. Well, older than what? It's certainly not older than me. But no, it's obviously not one of the brand new ones. But I saw one yesterday that is equally old and 70% more. And we'll see. We'll see how it compares. I just want to look at some and see. But he said because it's older. And so the inside may be very, 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 very tired. But we shall see. So, anyway, that's what I've been up to today. I know where to get my tacos al pastor del trompo tonight, because there was another one, and I saw, what did it say? Tipo de pastor? No, estilo de pastor. Well, what the heck does that mean? Pastor style. So anyway, I asked her, do you have tacos al pastor? Sí. En la noche. Solamente en la noche. But yes, they do. And I said, and I had forgotten the name of it now, but I described with my hands, con el trompo. And she said, no. And so then I kind of whispered to her, and I said, no es realmente tacos al pastor. So anyway, that's fine. And she laughed and said something like, yeah, I get you. So this is a lovely, lovely, lovely place for me to have stopped, because there's such a nice calm breeze. Well, not that, it could be stronger, and I'd love that too, but I just feel rested and not melting quite so much. Yeah, so that's been my lovely day today. And this is I'm very, very close to home now. 7 minutes, maybe, 7-minute walk, maybe. Yeah, so after I get my beer into me, after that ice cream and beer, do they go together? They sure do, because of the purpose. The ice cream got me to this far from La Plaza, and it was delicious. And now in comes this breeze that's helping, but I stopped for a beer to help get me cooler, and mainly to give me a reason to sit on this patio, I guess. But this is pizzeria, and I saw a family when I came in, everybody having pizza, so I'm not a big pizza fan, but I might very well come here for pizza one night. One never knows. Yeah. So anyway, this is the life of a single nomad. Because you could have nomadic couples, and why not? And go, you won't have the same experiences, but go have all the other fun that couples have that single nomads don't have. But yeah, it's just so calm and peaceful. Oh yeah, it's the day before Christmas. It's the 24th, and Christmas is no, not Christmas. The 24th is the big Christmas day for Mexicans. That's when they have their big dinner at night and all that stuff. But when I was on the beach, boy, it was packed. I have not seen that beach packed like that. And so when people were telling me that, oh yeah, February, you'll have no trouble getting a place for February, because I was a little concerned, like I better get at it, get cracking the whip on me to get at it. They said, you'll have no problem for February, and I believe they're right. So anyway, it's not such a full area here, not like Acapulco. Every weekend in Acapulco, you couldn't get a room. People were room hopping or hotel hopping, so that they would get a room for one night here and then pack everything up and then go another night to over here and another night to over there, just because they had availability like that. That was Acapulco. Acapulco got pretty much wiped off the map in November with the level 5 hurricane that came out of the blue. Nobody knew about it. Nobody knows about a hurricane when it's coming. That's a first, I think, in the lifetime of measuring storms. But anyway, if there's mystery in that or not, I cannot say. But then, while I've been down here, there have been a couple of stories too. There was a 66-year-old Canadian, I'll be 66 in 3 days, Canadian man who was swimming a week and a half ago, early in the morning, between 8:30, something like that, and something grabbed a hold of his leg and took it away, and it, opened an artery or whatever, and he didn't make it. By the time he got to shore, a fisherman came and helped him, and by the time he got to shore, he was gone. And I said, when I was hearing the story from that very morning, or midday, morning, 11 o'clock maybe, it was a lifeguard telling me the story, and he said he had to tell me because he knows that if he told me that the current was too strong, that I would know it was a lie, because I know how to swim. And so then if I kept going out swimming and he didn't stop me from swimming, then the Mexicans would follow suit, going, hey, if he's letting her, we can go out there too. And he wanted me to know there's something in the water not too far from here. So it's appearing 60% that it was a crocodile, and only 40%, or maybe 45, 55, that lower likelihood that it was a shark. But they still don't know, which is funny, because they thought by sending this guy immediately, which they did, to a biologist, that this biologist was going to be able to, marine biologist was going to be able to extract some DNA of the creature and confirm which it was. But the way the leg was twisted, they're swaying towards crocodile. And there is a big crocodile reserve here in the city somewhere, I forget, but I've been to it, I've seen it, and it's full of crocodiles. So I said, there could be a thing of less and less food on the reserve, so they're getting out. And the other thing is they see people walking by all the time, that they have no fear of leaving their confines. So, and they see the food, fresh food, so who knows? And also, when I was saying this last night, I guess, because we were with family members of my hostess, cousins, this one cousin in particular, who knew they had this house that they rent out, so they've come to rent the house out on the beach for Christmas. This one cousin and my hostess saw each other 3 years ago. And all the rest of them, either not at all because they're too young, or 40 years ago. And so anyway, there were many of them, I forget how many, but they came in a big, super big van. And they hired a professional driver. I guess you need a license at some level, and they're paying for him to stay there and everything too. So that's great. That's fabulous. But a lot of them, I don't know where they're all going to stay. I'm sure they brought inflatable beds, and I saw a tent there too. So somebody may stay out in the tent. And so that's great. It's a big property, so there's lots of space. Anyway, so we were talking about this, and I heard the topic going along. And so I joined in with the 66-year-old Canadian, because they weren't saying, who it was or anything like that. And then when I said, maybe it's because, there's lack of fear, so they don't fear humans, so they're not staying in their compound, their confines. And somebody said, and lack of fear by the humans for these animals. And I said, that too. Who would have ever thought that there was going to be a crocodile or a shark in the ocean? Come on, really. But it's true. We just don't think about it anymore. We're the superior race, in our opinion. But I am so pleased when the lifeguard told me, I said, so what happened to the guy because I don't want to quite say how blunt I can be about death. I have no issues with it. And he said, oh, he died. And I said, oh, I'm so happy for him, because that would have been one hell of an existence to deal with that trauma. And he said, and especially at 66, I'm sure he's lived a good life. Anyway, and the guy said, young guy, and he said, yeah, that's what I think too. And I said, yeah, it was an experience, and now he's gone to the other side, and he'll come back soon, or he won't, or whatever. So anyway, yeah, so these, and I put something about, there was a video of a shark in 2 feet of water in one of these beaches around here, and close to the beach where there was this incident. 2 incidents, actually. This guy's girlfriend also had some damage. I have not heard to what extent hers was, but she had some damage too. At any rate, so what was I going to say? Oh yeah, this shark was swimming around in 2 feet of water on a local beach too, and so I put that on my Facebook page because it was in a Facebook group. I shared it on my page, and one of my girlfriends said, now there's a whole new experience for you. No, it wasn't my videos. I didn't actually have the experience, but and my host doubts that it was real too. He said, that might be from 2 years ago or something. You know, you never know. That is true. Facebook, you never know. So anyway, just some experiences of the nomad. And I wish you a very happy holiday season, whether it be a Merry Christmas or a Happy Hanukkah or all those other celebrations, lovely celebrations that we have. And for everybody, may you all bring the new year in happily. I've heard a lot of stuff about 2024 and, the universal law of polarity being what it is. Some of it's great, some of it doesn't sound so great, but it all just is. But I've heard that the first half of the year, from everybody, I've heard the first half of the year, or all year, is going to be phenomenal, very productive, and lots of success for everybody. And then I've heard from a number of them more lately than a month ago that the latter part of the year is going to have challenges, especially for my sign, but they have said for everybody. It's just going to be a global half year that's going to have challenges, but we're going to be strengthening our foundations. They're my words. Strengthening our foundations through these challenges, they say. So that's a good thing too. So go forth and prosper and bring the new year in well and have a hell of a lot of fun doing it. Mwah. Until next time. So my hosts left me with the keys to this cute little vehicle. This is the hostess's vehicle, and I said, no, I don't need to use it. I can just walk. I'm going to, walk, take the buses, public transit, the way I always do, but she takes me a lot of places. Anyway, she said, no, listen. There was a bit of a discussion about it, and she said something to the effect of what we would say in English is, it's all good, but we don't need to look for trouble. So that's what she said. It's something like, you don't need to look for trouble. So I brought her car out, and it's different driving down here in this town just because of the way they have the streets set up and everything. You have to go a little bit in the wrong direction to get across to the other side of the boulevard, and then go in the right direction. Anyway, so I pull into this parking lot. And it's full, and people are double parked and even triple parked, but I'm sure they're family members, right? Can't even do that in Canada. It doesn't matter if you know the people whose car you're blocking. It doesn't matter. At any rate, I'm kind of tapping on the steering wheel, and I can hear the noise. Tapping my fingers on the steering wheel, so what will I do if I don't find a spot in here? And so I came along this way. I'm not going to take a taxi spot. For sure they're going to be annoyed with that. And I just drove right straight ahead. There was this spot right here, right straight ahead. The only spot in the lot that was available, and it was for me. Thank you, God. I just love how this always works out for me. And also, as I parked, there is the supermarket, that little tiny supermarket, the only one in this zona hoteleria. And so now I know where to come to buy some fruit. Maybe I'll buy some before I go home. Looks like they're still open. Anyway, how absolutely fantastic.